Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and I'm back for Game 2 from Hyun versus Stardust. Almost forgot his name right there. And this is going to be, of course, from the ASUS ROG Republic of Gamers tournament that just concluded I think last week, a few days ago. So very, very nice, and this is very nice. And this is going to be Hyun versus Stardust once again. Yes, this is an incredible set, and I'm told that mostly there are a couple of games in this set that are very, very good. But like I said, I wanted to cast the entire series for you guys because I want to build up that tension, that storyline. So yeah, this is gonna be great. Hyun is the blue Zerg player in the bottom left-hand corner, and his opponent is going to be, of course, Stardust, the red Protoss. And you know, Stardust, is he gonna do something aggressive again this game? I don't think I have ever seen him play a straight-up Protoss versus Zerg, and when I say straight up, I mean like no attacks. And I guess I hesitate a little bit to say that is how you should play straight-up StarCraft. That isn't how you should play straight-up StarCraft. StarCraft is a game where you should be able to do whatever the hell you want as long as it gets you the win, right? So let me rephrase and say I haven't seen Stardust play a passive game before, which isn't a bad thing, obviously. But I do think that when he gets into a situation where he is supposed to play passive, theoretically, in order to win, I think that's when he makes mistakes. Like in the last game when he should have been sitting back and defending that third Nexus, I think he would have easily, most Protoss players would have easily coasted to a victory there. But he didn't. He decided to attack, and I think that's what cost him. Sometimes an attack, you know, attacking is good, but sometimes it's not the right decision. And I think in game 1, that probably ended up costing him a little bit. So, you know, maybe he's thought things through a little, and, you know, he's focused and rethought his thought process out, and maybe this time around he'll make the right decisions, or he'll make better decisions in order to be able to take out Hyun, because right now he is down one game, you know, and it's not the end of the world in a best of 5, but it does hurt a little bit, bit of a sting, and, you know, we'll see what happens here. There is an Overlord going to the top. Have a hatchery coming out at the natural expansion, of course, one extractor for Hyun. And I must say, I like the decision to go for an early extractor here against Stardust. You know, you don't see this very often, actually, in Zerg versus Protoss. You will see it sometimes in Zerg versus Terran, but in Zerg versus Protoss, when a Zerg player gets an early extractor like that, a lot of times, you know, that could mean they're going to be aggressive against the Protoss. But against Stardust, I think maybe he's going for the early extractor just to have, you know, earlier, you know, gas-based units, Zergling speed, roaches, things of that nature. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he isn't going to attack here. I think Hyun could possibly go for something aggressive himself, try to, you know, dish back a little bit of medicine here to Stardust. We'll see what happens. There is a hatchery queen. Zergling speed, of course, on the way. Did he pull drones off the gas? No. He is actually maintaining 3 drones on the gas, which really makes me think here he could be going for some type of roach bust. We could see a baneling bust as well. Things of that nature are certainly possible, and Stardust does not know. I mean, he knows where the, you know, he knows where the Zerg is, but he doesn't know that there is gas mining back there. And oh my God, Stardust is going for a pylon in the top left-hand corner. What in the world is going on here? Gateway Forge at the front here for Stardust. And are both of these players planning to do something crazy here in the early stages of this game? We do have a lot of drones coming out for Hyun, though, and an evolution chamber. So, things are leaning less likely that Hyun wants to be aggressive at the front door, because he is droning up. He is getting an evolution chamber, I would assume, for upgrades. So there is, of course, a Stargate coming. What else could it be when a player proxies a pylon at the top like this? You know, this is such a vague, you know, conspicuous location. What, you know, double Stargate! Oh my God! It's a double Stargate across the sky, and wow. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Stardust do a build like this before. But yeah, it just goes to show once again, he is aggro toss. And we have double Stargate now coming. What will Hyun be, will he be prepared for this? Is the question I'm asking now. Because Hyun is going to float in here with the Overlord. He is going to see some Gateway, Warp Gate Cybernetics Core. You know, it doesn't really necessarily mean anything weird is going on, but I think, oh, once these Zerglings hit the front door, I think Hyun's gonna realize, wait a minute, where's all your gas? Where's your sentries? You know, why are you so, you know, you don't have anything at the front door? And I think, based on seeing the lack of sentries, the lack of stalkers, I believe that Hyun will now be able to realize there are indeed, you know, there's got to be something going on. It's either DTs or Stargates, and he is getting Spore Crawlers right now. He does have one coming up at this expansion. I think in the main base he has one as well. And so yeah, Hyun is playing this very cautiously. He knows something weird is going on this game based on his Zerglings hitting the front door. And in fact, we have double Void Rays now coming out from Stardust's Stargates. Yeah, and he could go, I mean, you know, if he adds in a couple of Oracles here, that would be really nasty, because the Oracles are just amazing at taking out workers, although they don't have the ability to take out buildings. They can destroy worker lines very, very quickly. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but Hyun is adding in a lot. Oh my god, a lot of Zerglings. 30 Zerglings are now on the way here. I'm not sure if he's planning to hit the front door or if he's just thinking, I don't know what's going on, and maybe I just need to get some Zerglings just in case, but that is a lot of Zerglings, and I don't see a Baneling nest, so I really don't think he is going to go for a Baneling bust. I mean, it's impossible without the nest, and here comes the Void Rays. They are going to make their way over to this third hatchery. I think the third hatchery is absolutely screwed. I think it is just going to straight up die. Void Rays now trying to get a charge up on the Overlord. They weren't able to do that. And Stardust now is going to focus that hatchery down. Meanwhile, Zerglings are going to the top left-hand side trying to find out where the Stargates are. They are going to find the Stargate location. And this hatchery will have to be sacrificed. There's no way about going around that. And so there we go. Victory for Stardust. But he is going to lose the double Stargate and the pylon powering it, which is a bit of a loss. Meanwhile, Stardust now going to reinforce the Void Rays with some Zealots and a Mothership Core, and now it's really kind of the ball is in Stardust's you know, hands. What does he want to do? Does he want to go for the natural expansion? I don't think that's a good idea. There's so many Spore Crawlers there now. There's a 5-grid crawler count. I think that's impossible to destroy with Void Rays, but he is just going to have to commit, I think, because he's so low on tech right now. He doesn't have his Stargates anymore. He's only on Gateway. And, I mean, Stardust now putting himself in a really weird spot. Does he attack or does he go back and play passively? And he just lost a bunch of his ground-based units, so I don't think, I just don't think attacking is a possibility here. And oh my god, here comes Hyun with the Zerglings for the counterattack, and Stardust is going to be in a lot of trouble if his wall gets breached. He is going to warp in some more Stalkers here. More buildings coming up to protect that leaking area. Stalkers, will there be enough Stalkers here to hold off against these Zerglings? The Gateway, the Warp Gate is about to go down. The Warp Gate is taking a lot of damage here. Another Gateway coming up and Zealot coming in as well, but it isn't enough. It is just barely enough, I think, to hold off the leak. Oh my god. Will it be enough? Stardust now getting surrounded, but the Photon Cannon coming up just in the nick of time, and these Zealots also helping quite a bit as well. I do believe that Stardust will be okay here, but he needs to finish, he needs to fix the leaking hole right here, and finally getting that Warp Gate up, but unfortunately there's a lot of Zerglings here, and oh my god, Hyun has breached the front door, but Mothership Core brings the reinforcements back home. There is a little bit of a delay, but I think this is just going to be enough, as Zealots are warping into the main base as well. Wow, what a sick game between these two players, and I mean, just showing the skill level. You know, Stardust having the build orders, the execution of his aggression is on such a high scale, such a high level, that even a Zerg like Hyun, even Zergs like Jaedong have troubles, they have difficulties dealing with it. Now, we'll see what happens here in this game as Hyun pushes out with the Queens and Zerglings. He wants to get another hatchery going here, but there's a lot of Protoss units coming in. Lots of Protoss units coming in. I think these Queens are going to be in some trouble here. They are getting surrounded by the Zealots and the Protoss forces as well. And the Queens trying to transfuse and focus down these Void Rays. Hail to the Queens. Really valiant effort by them right there. They were able to kill a couple of air units, but we do have 7 Infestors now on the way. And these Infestors pose a serious issue for Stardust's army. If he gets chain fungal, these Zealots are just totally worthless. Although a couple of them were able to leak up into the Infestors, these Zealots are getting chain fungal down right now. A couple of spines coming up, but there isn't really any fodder units to support these Infestors. And Hyun getting caught a little bit off guard here. He could be in trouble as Stardust pushes in with his Zealot and Stalker army, and this isn't looking too good for Quantic Hyun. He is out of Zerg-based units. He doesn't have any Zerglings or Roaches, and now he's gonna have to pop out some Infested Terrans. Will that be enough to hold off against these Zealots and Stalkers? A couple of Zerglings are also coming out at the same time, and this is gonna be really close. Drones are getting pulled off the line to help fight as well. You can see that the Protoss has killed off 20 or so workers already. So once again, Stardust killing off a bunch of workers in the early game. Now will he be able to play the rest of the game correctly and not lose it? He just needs to either apply aggression if he's this far ahead, or pull back and play passively if he starts to get overwhelmed by Zerg reinforcements. But I think right now Stardust has the edge. And he is about to kill off this hatchery. Ladies and gentlemen, Stardust about to take out Hyun. 20 Zerglings are on the way though. Will it be enough Zerglings? Hatchery is taking a lot of damage. It is going to go down. Main base now has been breached for the Zerg, and he needs reinforcements so badly. He just doesn't have a Roach Warren. And this is the problem when there's this many Zealots. Quantic Hyun has to GG. And so Stardust is victorious. The series is now tied up at 1-1 apiece. And we are going to find out what happens in Game 2. Stay tuned. This is HD, signing out.